Danny, explain what this verdict means and the split nature of it on these questions.
The plaintiff here had really two claims. One was for defamation and the other was for the actual sexual assault. And the reason that happened was that originally the statute of limitations had long expired, so the plaintiff here filed a claim for defamation, essentially saying that when Trump called her a liar about her allegations of abuse, that Trump had defamed her. And of course, the jury agreed. Then when New York passed a statutory one-year window for all previously expired claims of sexual abuse, civil claims, to be refiled, within half an hour of that statute going into effect, Carroll's legal team filed this civil rape case against Donald Trump. And of course, while the jury did not find that Trump raped E. Jean Carroll, they did find that he sexually abused her, which is really subjecting her to the sexual contact without her consent. So, I mean, this is a very, very clear message that, and I have to say, Lester, I have some of these cases that are under these one-year window, and the challenge is always finding evidence from something that happened decades ago. And what Carroll's verdict tells us is that these cases can be prosecuted, notwithstanding the difficulty in tracking down evidence for an alleged assault that happened in an era that was essentially pre-internet, pre-email, pre-text messaging, and the proliferation of video cameras everywhere we go.
Many would argue that Access Hollywood tape, the deposition tape, did serve as sort of a testimony, as sort of a piece of evidence. We may know later on, but right now looking at it, how important, impactful was that potentially to this case?
I'll go a step further, Lester. Without those pieces of evidence, this was an even-odd situation. It could have gone either way. But the Access Hollywood tape, and not just the tape, Lester, but Trump in his deposition, apparently, by my knowledge, for the first time, doubling down on the Access Hollywood tape. You remember in 2016, Trump called that locker room talk. He tried to explain it away. But in this deposition, he appears to support, to double down, to basically stand by his position earlier, saying something really, frankly, bizarre, that, look, celebrities have been able to do this for a million years, and fortunately or unfortunately, that's just the way it is. And Laura Jarrett correctly pointed out, in what world is that ever fortunate? These were unforced errors. Trump didn't have to say things like the plaintiff wasn't his type. And you better believe that he handed the plaintiff gold when he said that in his deposition. Look no further than the plaintiff's closing argument. They used all of that evidence, and it was compelling. And I would argue that without that evidence, without Trump shooting himself in the proverbial foot, this would have been a much closer call. I think what Trump did in his deposition did nothing but inflame this jury and give them a really good reason to vote in favor of the plaintiff in this case.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.